Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Law with DIY Web Strategy Labs. And today I just wanted to talk about what the most valuable tool on the web is to be successful on the web. Like, hands down, what the most valuable tool you can use on the web is that will make you successful, that will bring in income and revenue. The most valuable tool that you can use. And it's 100% free. You don't have to pay for anything to use it. You can do basically whatever you want to do online with knowing how to use this tool, this valuable free tool. And that tool is none other than WordPress. So it says here, you dream it, you build it. Honestly, I used to use Drupal in the past, and I have switched to WordPress mostly because WordPress is the one that everyone uses. It's a content management system that is very easy to learn and understand. Drupal had a little bit more of a learning curve, I think, and it made it much easier for me to understand WordPress. Now, uh, web development and web design has changed quite a bit since I was working with Drupal, and I believe that no matter which one you're using these days, it's probably just based on preference now. But you can probably get the most out of either or. It just depends on what you're looking for. Now, when it comes to WordPress, the community I believe is a lot bigger, and you want to start checking out like how to learn more about the things that are coming out with new releases with WordPress and things like that. So this WordPress 6.2 just released. Uh, Candidate 2 just released on the 14th. So there's a lot of things still going on. 6.0 WordPress 6 released last year, and that was like a huge shift as far as how WordPress development goes. So now we're using a lot of Gutenberg block development. Okay, so one thing that I do like to share is if you're somebody who is looking to get a job in web development or web design or something like that, or if you're just trying to build your own website, you got a business idea that you wanted to create or something like that, or you want to just create a web page really quick for you yourself as a musician or something like that. You don't have to have you don't have to know a great amount of skills in order to build a website with WordPress anymore. Gutenberg makes it very simple for anyone with any skill level to build a website. Like, if you ever remember how MySpace was, this is actually how I learned how to build websites, but I started out building websites with MySpace. Matter of fact, let's go to MySpace and see if MySpace is still exists. MySpace.com. Oh wow. It looks quite different. I don't like it doesn't seem like it's still kept up. I don't know. But yeah. Now, with MySpace, you used to be able to um actually uh customize your profile. Let me see if I could log into my old. Maybe Facebook will allow me to. Let's see if Facebook will allow me to. App not active. Oh, yikes. Okay. So maybe I have to try this. No, that didn't work. No. Um, we'll see if I could get in. I don't know if I could actually get in. I don't know if I'll be able to get in. I don't think I will. No. I probably won't be able to get in on this. But anyways, MySpace had you could be able you were able to customize and modify your profile to make it look the way you want it to look. And it was just using simple HTML. Maybe if you were skilled enough with CSS, you could get some CSS in there. I mean, basically, it's all just HTML, CSS. And if you knew JavaScript, if JavaScript worked, I can't even remember if JavaScript worked really, but uh, pretty much just HTML and CSS was what you would use on your MySpace profile. And you just, make it look the way you wanted it to look. Well, WordPress is almost just that easy to design your websites now. It's almost just as easy. So if you're not a developer, if you're not a web designer, WordPress is easy for you as far as building a website goes. It's really simple. Now, I'm going to show you ways to be able to build a website using WordPress. Now, here now, I have, let's show you. So here's my Docker container with my local WordPress. And then I have my local WordPress that I'm working on now. Basically, I'm just creating a theme for with. So I'm creating a customized theme that will use blocks and Gutenberg in order to basically be customized in any kind of way that the user sees fit. So I have that. Now, what I'm doing is quite advanced. I'm a developer, I'm a web developer, right? And my suggestion for web developers is to get involved in contributing to the code. So that is one way of finding out a way to earn a living through using WordPress as a tool, right? So if you contribute, get the Gutenberg code, start building on Gutenberg, use your local WordPress environment. That's what I have already. I showed you guys that. I'm using the Docker setup currently. Yeah, make sure you get all the tools. So these are like tools that you would want to use to kind of ensure that your code is up to par with WordPress standards. And they use TypeScript. So it's good to learn TypeScript versus JavaScript. There's a whole guide here for contributing. So like there's several sections per subsection. So you got the design contributions, documentation contributions. There's several subsections in these, of course. Triage, localizing Gutenberg plugin, accessibility testing, repository management. Like there's so much going on here. Now, this is if you want to learn to contribute to WordPress. Now, contributing to WordPress can eventually lead to how contributing to open source can help you land your first job. So this is open source. It's talking about, this is an article on GitLab talking about open source. Open source can mean something like WordPress. It can mean Linux. It can mean anything. If it's open source, then you can work on it. I'll have plenty of other companies and other projects that are out there that I'll talk about that you can join and join the community and start contributing to these projects. Linux is one. WordPress is one. Plenty of others that are out there. Drupal is another. I just can't think of any off the top of my head. Joomla. There's a bunch of them. Okay. So if you want to get started with contributing, I have links in the description. So you can contribute as a developer. Okay. Now, if you want to just start learning how to use WordPress, like just start learning how to build on WordPress, you can also build your local environment using Docker, a Docker localized setup. Now, it's really simple. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm going to have a video where I explain this, okay? And it's going to show all the steps. But it'll show you how simple this is. You use basically VS Code. I'll show you. This is VS Code here. So we'll use VS Code and we'll use the terminal to set it all up. And it'll be pretty simple. So it'll be good for you to download and install VS Code. It's free. I'll leave a link for that in the description as well. And we'll follow the steps to build our development environment for a local environment for WordPress. Okay. And now, if you're a beginner using WordPress, I get it. I understand. It seems like we're getting into something that may be really, really technical. Now, if you're a beginner, you'll find that a lot of the videos that I do are very beginner friendly. Now, I'm going to have videos for people who are more advanced, but mostly these videos are for people who are fairly beginners but just want to learn how to either do something on their own, learn how to use WordPress on their own, or they're aspiring to switch careers or something like that, and they're coming from a career where they don't know anything about tech, and they want to learn how to either make money as a web developer, doing freelance web development work, web design work, building websites for people. If they want to, start a design career or anything like that, like basically just learning how to use the web to their advantage to make a living, then this is the channel for you. So basically, if you want to learn how to use WordPress, and not all my videos are going to be about WordPress, but most of them will. But if you want to learn how to use WordPress and use it in a way that's going to help you to earn a living and get many different ideas off of using something, a valuable tool that's 100% free, learning how to use it to make money, then this is the channel for you. That's all I'm basically trying to say with this video, because everything that I'm going to teach you, I'm not asking for any money for it or anything. This is all stuff you could learn for free. None of it is going to cost you any money. Now, granted, I will have things that I will suggest and I will talk about that will cost money. Tools that I'll use, courses that may be valuable in my opinion. Let me think. There may be, I don't know, books that I may suggest. There actually may be plenty of books that I'll suggest. But yes, at the end of the day, what I'm trying to help you to understand is being able to leverage a tool like WordPress, an open source tool like WordPress. I'm not talking about just WordPress, but being able to leverage tools, open source tools like WordPress, are incredibly valuable, and you can use them to your advantage to be able to make money. And it's not necessarily one size fits all ideas that I'm going to be talking about here, but I will take different ideas and create different videos for people to see all the really cool things that you could do with a tool like WordPress. So, like I said, there's ways to contribute to the community. There's also plugins, lots and lots and lots of plugins. There's some that are open source. There's some that are commercial, but by looking through their GitHub and matter of fact, let me see if I could go to GitHub here. So here's the Gutenberg for GitHub. So you got to learn how to navigate GitHub. You got to learn what GitHub is about. There's lots of projects on GitHub, but when you start learning how to navigate, you get your own account on GitHub. I got my own. And you start contributing, forking stuff, following projects, looking at issues and fixing bugs. You can do a lot here on GitHub and learn a lot here on GitHub. One of the things that this GitLab article talks about, which GitLab is a similar community to GitHub, but with GitLab, this article is talking about building a network, building an online reputation. With GitHub, you build an online reputation with all the things that you contribute to, repositories that you create, gists that you create. So I have lots of different things that I've done on GitHub, and it creates like basically long it creates somewhat of a or well, what would I call it, a timeline, yeah, for me. It creates a timeline for me, and that kind of creates a reputation for me. And I can also share all of my stuff here. I could share the things that I've worked on and things that I've created. Also with network in the community, you build a network. There's people who follow you. I'm following other people. I don't have anybody that's following me, it looks like, but I do have people that I am following. Maybe that'll change after I start really going a little harder on this channel. But yeah, so WordPress is the way to go. As a developer, there's so much you can do. As just somebody who's using WordPress, there's a lot of ideas you can take from it. Like the thing that I basically try and tell a lot of people who are building their own website, they go and try and find somebody to build a website for them. And now at this point, to get somebody to build a website for you, just like a single page website, it costs you, almost $1,000, and you could have built that yourself in a few hours just using WordPress. And there's no, you don't have to know how to code or anything. Like, just building a website is really simple, really easy. I wish I could find a way to well, here, let's look at, it says find inspiration here, so you could look at uh different sites. So here you got Rolling Stone. This was built in WordPress. Let's visit the site. Like, it looks like a newspaper. Now, the thing is all of this stuff looks like really, really, really complicated, right? You think that it's really complicated. Well, actually, it could take you only to build this page alone. It could take you probably about a week, maybe 2 weeks. Because like it looks like it's a lot of stuff in here, but to populate. But the thing is all this stuff populates automatically from already created content. So you're just basically saying, okay, this content populates here. This content populates here. This content populates here. Uh, and you're actually placing it in these particular spaces. Um, I want this stuff to show up here. More editors picks and quotes showing up here. It's just in here more news, like all this stuff. The reason why it's placed where it is because when people come to the site, the first things that Rolling Stone wants you to do, it's gonna make you do one thing in particular, like, okay, let's log in, subscribe, or like really what it wants your attention on is this here. So you'll click on this and it'll have this page that'll show the article, which is already like you're gonna create these pages. It's just a template and it shows the content here, and that's all. Like, you're gonna create this one time and then that's it. It is now basically an asset. It creates more pages for you, and once you're done with that design, that's your design for your posts. And then you have pages. So let's go back to the home page and see if there's any pages we can go to. We'll probably have to go down to the bottom. Let's see. So these would be more like pages, but here, let's go to contact. Here's a contact page. This is all that it is. Just contact information, sidebar, more stuff at the bottom that you could, so they could keep you on the site, and the footer, which stays the same all the time. And then down here, it's got more of their affiliates and stuff like that. So, yeah. I mean, basically, WordPress is as easy as it gets when it comes to getting started with, like, either building websites for a living, or if you want to start your own website and you want it to actually be like a blog or a website that is for e-commerce or whatever. You're selling stuff there. It doesn't matter. When you learn WordPress, you could do any of those things now. And it's all drag and drop. Okay? Like, all this stuff that you see here, it's basically made with drag and drop now. It's not hard to do anymore. Like, getting all these things to be like uniform and make them look neat, and there's some technical aspects to this that makes this a lot more difficult, like making this kind of template and making it, because this is a complex template, but it's not really hard to make it if you really think about all the steps it takes to get this done. And that's the thing. Like, most people will see this and be like, this is probably super hard, super difficult. And no, it's not. Actually, there's probably not a whole lot of code that takes place to get this done. But in order to, for each of these individual sections, there probably is some code that takes place that you need to write. And it's probably not as much as you think. Like, it's not going to be these long, super complicated lines of code that you see. Like, what you normally see when you're looking at lines of code for a website is actually stuff that has, like, it's just sections of code that somebody has written over time, little pieces, bits and pieces over time. So let's go to the index HTML page here. This is like a lot of code, but it's little bits and pieces, and none of it is like necessarily real code. Like, it's just filler content, you know. But a lot of copying and pasting has happened in order to make this happen. Like, it's not super complicated. There's some PHP in here. You know, like, WordPress is gonna handle most of the real heavy lifting when it comes to the PHP. You're gonna be doing like a few functions here and there and some event handlers, and that's about it. But a lot of it is JavaScript, HTML, CSS, really. So, and a little bit of PHP. So that's pretty much all I wanted to say about using WordPress. Now, if you're just somebody who doesn't have any skills with WordPress, like I said, you can learn how to use WordPress and be pretty dangerous with it. You can be pretty dangerous with it, even without having to know how to code. But I'd say that if you want to really make a living, learning how to use WordPress is going to be your best bet. Learn how to use WordPress, use this free tool, and you will be able to do amazing things. And the better you get over time, the more valuable you become as a WordPress developer, if you want to be that. You don't even have to be a WordPress developer. You can go and start building websites for people just using drag and drop, because they just don't want to do it. They don't have the time to do it, maybe, or they just don't have the bandwidth. You can just start getting websites made, drag and drop. Simple as that. You don't need anything. There used to be companies like, here, let me show you. Let's go to Elementor. So here you had Elementor. Now this is free. You can use it for free, but you have to upgrade in order to get the better features, right? The drag and drop features. That shows you all the drag and drop features, right? In order to get the more useful drag and drop features, you need to pay, and that's going to be like $100 per year. Now, WordPress already has drag and drop features. So using this would make no sense whatsoever, because you already have Gutenberg. It's 100% free. So now there's no need to use it. But now it's still a lot of people out there who are using stuff like this. Here's another one that I used to use a lot, actually. Thrive Themes. I don't see the purpose in using these anymore. Now, these are dedicated. This Thrive Themes is a dedicated plugin slash theme builder. And they already have a lot of themes that are built with marketing in mind. So marketing is the primary focus for a lot of these themes. And they also have like quiz builders and stuff like that. A lot of that stuff you can still build in WordPress, easy. But Thrive Themes is built for marketing. Now, the thing is that you don't necessarily need this. You still don't really necessarily need this. Now, they've already built all the themes for you. They've already built, they got a whole bunch of icons available for you. They got a whole bunch of color palettes and designs like this here that just already have been proven to work for certain types of designs. Building an email list here, see? But you can do this stuff already. Like, it's literally just drag and drop with WordPress. But now they expect you to use their product to do it. This costs you $180 per year to use. $180. Unlike Elementor. Okay? So do you want to pay that $180 per year on top of having to pay for your hosting service, which is probably going to cost you a few hundred per year? Because you're going to have to host your website. You don't have to. There are free web hosting there are free web hosting platforms out there that are available to you. And I'm going to actually do a video on that. But the free web hosting platforms are limited up until the point where you need to use something that is no longer, like, they know they can make some money off of this, because web hosting for free is not where it's at. Like, you got to make some money off of your server space. It costs money to run a server. So eventually they got to make their money somehow, some way. Now, you can use a hosting service that's free. You're only going to be able to get so far, but I have been able to use free hosting service and actually be pretty successful with it. But you're pretty much doing like single page website hosting and stuff like that. But that's useful. That's still useful. If you want to test something, you want to test an idea, you could use that. But anyway, I've gone on and on about this for quite some time now. I just wanted you guys to understand how useful WordPress actually is as a content management system, and how you can leverage it for the web and be able to make money with it, because you can, be able to collect payments with WordPress and it doesn't cost you money. If you're using WooCommerce, you want to collect payments, single payments, then yes, you can do that. Subscriptions, it'll probably cost you about $200 to pay for the subscription option. But at the same time, like, if you're making money on a regular basis, that $200 isn't going to be a big deal, because you're able to pay for it with the and that's a $200 per year subscription. So you're going to probably pay for that within a few days, maybe a day, less than a day, depending on, how well your website traffic is. So that's the thing. Like, you learn how to leverage WordPress, you basically can do whatever you want on the web. You don't need social media. You don't need YouTube. You don't need what else is popular out there? Like forums or anything like that. You don't need it. As long as you have your website, you got everything you need. You can run an email list from your website. You can run your social media from your website. You can keep a blog going from your website. You can collect payments from your website. You can stream video from your website. You can run a podcast from your website. It's so many things you could do. And all using a very, very, very 100% free, very valuable tool that's online. So anyway, I hope you guys thought that this was a valuable video, that you got some value out of this. You guys found that at least there was something that you learned from about WordPress. If you're, a beginner out here looking for a new career, trying to find a way to make money on the web, I'm telling you, WordPress can work for you just as well as it could work for the person who is advanced web developer who understands how to code using PHP, JavaScript, TypeScript, even Python, connecting WordPress with other languages using C, C++, whatever. When you're that advanced, you probably already know what to do to use WordPress to your advantage. But if you're like not super advanced, but you're intermediate maybe, and you want to get better at coding, you want to be a better website developer, get into becoming a contributor for WordPress. That's one really good way of getting your foot in the door as a developer. And getting a job. And there's also, the freelance route that you can take. So you can start building websites for other people and selling those, web pages, websites, whatever. You could create a blog for yourself and, like get people to write on your blog and, sell slots or something like that. Like it doesn't matter. Whatever kind of idea you may have, you can get it done with WordPress. You just need to understand how it works and what you can use, like the tools that you can leverage to get the job done. But I hope you guys like this video. Like and subscribe. I know that this was more of kind of a rant. It's a long video, but I needed to get this out because I just got to get the ball rolling, and I need to start talking about things that have to do with, making money online, using web skills to your advantage that are out there completely for free. And I got too many people that are asking me about this stuff on a daily basis, and too many people who are saying you might as well just go on ahead and start a YouTube channel. And I've been kind of just not really doing the YouTube channel thing because, granted, I don't always feel like I know very much because, I feel like I'm so behind on so many things. But I got hundreds of people coming to me asking me, how to do this, how to do that. Why not turn this into monetize it, turn it into some sort of income? And that's what I need to do, and stop acting like I don't know nothing because I always feel like I don't. Unfortunately, that's the thing about after you've been doing something for so long, you assume that other people just know it. It's easy. Everybody else can pick this up quickly. No, that's actually not the truth. And if you have something out there that you're really good at, that may be how you feel too. Like you may be really good at something and you just haven't realized it. It just comes to you naturally. And you can start teaching other people how to use or how to do whatever it is that you know how to do. That's the thing. So my skill is learning how to use the web, coding, web development, WordPress. I'm really good with those things, so I might as well start teaching it. And I'm probably gonna start talking about a lot of blockchain stuff as well, because that's a direction that I'd like to go in the future. So if you have some interest in that stuff, then I'm gonna be talking about that as well. But anyway, thanks for watching this video. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.